Hello, pet parents. This is Neharika from PetFed India, your host for today. And as promised, we are here with another interesting session, which is about taking care of your furry friends during monsoons. Please welcome our expert guest for today, Dr. Aradhana Pandey, who is a senior and experienced vet serving in the pet industry for more than 20 years. She specializes in companion animal medicine, nutrition, and behavior. Dr. Aradhana is also the owner of Doggy World, which has three branches in Delhi. Hi, Dr. Aradhana. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm perfectly fine. In fact, I'm really happy to be back with Pet people and with one of the most interactive audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, most pet parents, the monsoons definitely bring along a little bit of tension, especially if they have a dog. And it is not just the walking routines that get disturbed, but a whole set of problems that can really affect your dog's health. Most dogs often develop a storm phobia during this time, making them anxious and restless almost all the time. Then there is itchy skin, various infections and diseases, and even upset stomachs. If you have also been on the receiving end of the monsoon problems, then this session will surely be very beneficial to you. People who are watching us, please feel free to drop in your queries in the comment section below regarding the monsoon trouble that you are dealing with, and we will definitely answer them all for you. And just like last time, we are also running an interesting trivia contest today where we will be asking the audience three questions throughout the session, and three lucky winners who answer all these three questions correctly will win a gift hamper from Purina Pro Plan. Exciting much? So sit back and stay tuned to this chat as the winners will be announced at the end of the session. People who are joining us just now, we are here to discuss taking care of pets during the monsoon season. So if you have any questions, do drop in your queries in the comment section below and we will definitely answer them for you. Till then, let's address a few commonly asked questions by pet parents regarding monsoon care for pets. Are we ready, Dr. Radna?
Yeah, definitely. Shoot.
Sure. So the first question, I think because of the monsoon season already coming in, we wanted to understand what are some of the thumb rules that we must always follow as pet parents during these time.
Actually, Niharika, what happens is this is the time when the both moisture as well as the heat is on a higher side. So these are the most ideal time wherein a different type of parasites can grow in. Let it be bacteria, let it be fungus, any sort of pest. So our aim should be how we can minimize or reduce down their buildup in the house as well as around the pet. So the things that we need to take care is that we should properly clean our pet once he's coming back from the walk or he's playing in the moist areas. So he should be properly cleaned and dried. His bedding should be cleaned and disinfected more frequently because it should not have any buildup of the fungus or the bacteria there. Then apart from that, he should be given food in a very clean and properly washed bowls, and water should always be provided. That should be either RO water or it should be properly boiled. And there should be special care must be taken before the starting of the season, like deworming must be done because it will help in removing all the infected parasites within the body, and it will be safer period for our pets. And one most important thing that we tend to ignore is that during the monsoons, there are many a times thunderstorms or there are lightning. So many of our pets are very anxious because of this. So we
Yes.
must have a place for our pets where they can, you can say, hide themselves or they can feel safe. So a place which is totally safe and secluded from the direct noise of the thunderstorms and
Storms.
that. So that sort of a place should be made ready before the season starts. So these are the basic things that we need to take care of.
Okay, okay. Moving to the next question, doctor. So we also often fall sick, and we most of the time do feel under the weather during this time of the year. So we wanted to also understand: is it same for dogs as well?
Of course, they are almost the same as we are. These gloomy weather, the condition is not very good outside. The sunshine is not there. It's always dribbling. So
Yes.
they don't get enough time to go out and run. So they also feel a bit lethargic and they are not very happy that way. And this all leads to the decrease in the general immunity, Once the immunity is down, the chances of getting the infections, and the weather is not very conducive for the growth and all. So this time they also feel very lethargic and gloomy, and they, at times, many pets also feel like you can say depressed, and they are not very eager to play around. So obviously
Right.
they also feel the season that's not conducive for them.
Definitely. So, what are some of the problems that a dog might develop during these rainy seasons or during the rains specifically?
There are different diseases, like as I told you earlier, that it's the time which is conducive for all sorts of infections to flare up. So, if bacteria is there in the surrounding, suppose we give them food, and he doesn't finishes the food immediately, so it is lying in the bowl. So there is
Yes.
chances that the bacteria might grow into it. Once the bacteria or some infection grows into it, the chances of diarrhea, loose motions, or some sort of infection, intestinal infections are there. Since the moisture is there, so the probability of growing of the fungus is there. The fungal dermatitis, bacterial dermatitis, the skin is not very healthy because the ticks and fleas are coming. So once the ticks and fleas are there, the dog is itching, and once he itches, the chances of bacteria growing onto the skin, or the moisture that is there in the atmosphere, because of which the
Yes.
fungus might grow on the body. So fungal infections, skin infections, any sort of tick infestations, diarrhea, loose motions. And as I told you, there are certain psychological problems also, because they are nervous, they don't enjoy that thing. So this leads to some sort of depression and loneliness also among the pets.
Okay. Okay. So, moving on to the next question, Dr. Radna, are
Mhm.
there any, let's say, dietary changes, that can actually help our dogs with such problems if they come in?
Yeah, definitely. There is always a better, many things that can be added. Like, first thing is we need to increase more of the antioxidants and immunity boosting things. Like, there are
Sure.
different supplements, vitamin C, vitamin E, then immunity building things like omega 3 fatty acids that needs to be added to their diet. The basic aim is to provide them with a totally balanced diet, so that they get the optimum amount of everything, which will make them grow into a happy, healthy dog, and he doesn't face any sort of nutritional deficiency, and his
Okay.
immunity, his general upkeep is fine. So that way, we prefer a highly balanced and a nutritious diet, wherein lots of fiber should be there in the diet. So it could
Okay.
be both in the form of home cooked diet as well as from the artificial diets, because they are
Okay.
totally balanced. So that can also be taken.
Understood. Understood. The next question that I have for you is, I mean, the dull weather and the heaviness that is there in the air, they
Mhm.
make the pets lethargic. But
Yeah.
how do we keep and how do we address this problem? And especially when the walks are not happening, they're not able to go outside. So, in what ways can we make sure that they're still active and they're still not feeling that lethargic and not feeling
Mhm.
out of their daily schedule? That is.
Frankly speaking, it's not only the monsoons that are making them lethargic, it is the lockdown, the COVID phase,
That
everything
is
is making them totally lethargic.
surely.
We are not ready to go out, and we are not even taking our pets out. So most of the time they are totally indoors. And with the rains, all this moisture, the puddle, the water, everything, we try to avoid going out. So my basic thing that I recommend is that you spend more time with them, because we are indoors, so we
Okay.
need to spend more time with them. And since we need to make them more active, so obviously indoor activities is always advisable. Play with them, maybe play catch with them, or throw some balls. And there are certain toys that can be pulled from both the side, like a tug of war. So these type of
Yes.
activities. And once he is doing something good, like he's following your instructions, you are throwing a frisbee, not necessarily a frisbee, because
Right.
indoor it's not that easy. But if you're throwing a ball and he brings it back, just give him a treat, so he'll be elated to do it again and again. So spend more time, be more playful, and try to be more and more creative, so that he is also active and you are also active, because dogs are the humans also best friends. So if you spend
Surely.
time, even you will be elated. That's the basic time. Even we are depressed, and we also need
Yes.
our moods to be elated. So it's the similar case.
Agree.
It's like a two-way process. So I think
Yeah.
this will
Agree.
help both of
Definitely.
us. Yeah.
Definitely. So before we proceed to our questions, I think we have one question from Shama Prasad, and they are asking any advice on keeping their paws clean in such weather, facing tick problems in that area.
Yes, this is a very, very important thing because that is the starting of any problem. The pause of the pets is the starting of any problem. So our first aim before the season starts, or in any case in general, the aim our aim should be like we should keep the paws clean. If it's a small haired breed, then just try to clean the hair from between the paws so that there is no buildup of any sort of dust or infection into those area. Try to clip the nails as small as possible. I would prefer it to be done professionally. Don't try it at home because it might bleed. And if it
Yes.
is a long coat dog, so I prefer not only cleaning from the lower end of the paw, even some upper part of the paw could be cleaned, like 1 inch or 1.5 inch of the hair coat should be trimmed as closely as possible, so that there is no dust sticking to it. The moment he comes back from a walk, uh, don't clean it with a wet thing. I always ask my clients not to use water. Just take some
Okay.
antiseptic, either wet wipes or antiseptic lotion, and just spray it in a tissue paper. Wipe it clean and make it as dry as possible. Don't let moisture
Okay.
build in there, because if
Okay.
moisture will be there, it will be itchy. He'll start licking it. Once he'll start licking it, there will be all redness and all the infections will be there. So try to keep it as dry as possible, and try to check his paws every day, because that is the source of ticks. So once he comes back, while you are cleaning, just have a look if there is any tick sticking to it. And the best way to prevent all these ticks and all these things is to go for a prevention. It's always better to prevent the things before they have come to the body. So there are different
Agree.
type of medicines available in the market. Either oral tablets are there, even drops are there that can be poured on the body that provide the protection for limited period, like for 1 month, 3 months, depending upon the label claims. So that can be
Okay.
used even before the monsoon starts. So our pets are healthy and they don't face all these type of problems. I think I have explained the things to him perfectly.
Definitely, this was a very well defined answer. Actually, the same problem I think I was feeling with my dog as well. But now I know
Yeah.
that the moisture is something that was actually causing the trouble
Yes.
altogether.
Yes.
So before we move on to the audience questions, I think we should uh, announce the first trivia question that we have for them today. So, guys, are you ready? The first trivia question that we have for you today is: it is very important to keep your pup's fur clean and dry during monsoons because the first option is it prevents them from developing skin infections, and the second option is it makes them look good. I will repeat the question. This is very important to keep your pup's fur clean and dry during monsoons because your option one is it prevents them from developing skin infections. The option two is it makes them look good. So if you know the answer, do write them down in the comment section below. We'll take another audience question, ma'am. So we have a question from Dimpy Bose here, and she's asking, "Hi, doctor. My Shih Tzu dog's ears smell, and I can see crusty dandruff near her ears. Any home remedy? She tried applying some drops, but she still itches."
Hello, Dimpy. Yeah, these type of things happen. There could be two reasons. One is simple the dryness because of the excessive buildup of the wax, and other there could be there might be some infection within the ear. So if it is just because of the buildup of the wax, you can, as you asked for a home remedy, you can use the normal oil like mustard oil, slightly lukewarm. Not it should not be very hot. Dip it in a small amount of cotton, and then you can use that cotton to clean the area around it. But it should not be done very rigorously. Never use an earbud because it has got a stick inside. Use a cotton by your finger so that you can easily and softly take care of the ear canal. Don't go very deep into the ear canal. Just clean it from the external areas. But still, if it is smelly and the crust is coming again and again, you need to see a vet so that it can be cleaned from inside. There are different medicines that he'll be putting into the canal and then dissolving all the wax and removing it completely. So that way it can be professionally taken care of. But still, if in the house, you can use the home remedy that I told you. But that should be temporary only. Don't wait for the things to deteriorate.
So hope we were able to answer your question, Dimpy. The next question that we have is from Jerika Anchan, and the question is excessive shedding during monsoon common? What are the remedies for that?
Yes, excessive shedding is very common. Normally, it depends upon the type of the breed that you have because they are seasonal shedders. Like some breeds shed 4 times a year, some shed 2 times a year. But this is the time where pertinently every breed is shedding. So, to prevent it, the best way is to groom him properly. And brushing and massaging is the most common things. Dry massaging, don't use any oils or any thing to massage with it. Just use a dry hand massager and massage it and remove the undercoat. There are certain breeds which have got double coat. So majority of the undercoat that sheds a lot. The external coat doesn't shed that much. So try to remove by proper brushing all the buildup of the coat that is there. So that is the best thing. Apart from that, in case it seems like a extended period, like more than 15-20 days, then you need to add certain nutritional things to his diet. Like there are coat conditioners available in the market that can be added with the help of your vet, and then it will prevent the shedding. As far as the home remedies are concerned, for prevention, try to add more protein to his diet. So if he's on a dog food diet, there's nothing to worry about. If he's on a home cooked diet, then you can add maybe some quantity of curd or egg to his diet. So more protein that will help in growth of the hair, improve the growth of the hair. So he'll be in a better position.
Hope that answers your question, Jerika. The next question that we have here is from Niloofar Yasmin. And the question is Taco is a beagle, and right now he is having some fungal hives, but now it's decreasing. We have consulted our vet. Can you suggest something?
If it has been already identified that it is a fungal thing, I think antifungals is the best solution. They are available both in the form of tablets as well as the sprays. That the exact dosing will be by the vet only. But for a fungal thing, I always prefer that a regular grooming thing needs to be taken care of. Like he needs to be groomed every week, preferably with a advised antifungal shampoo. And apart from that, this fungus leads to crusting of the skin, so he needs to be properly brushed so that the proper aeration of the skin is there, as well as whatever crust is deposited, that is completely removed by the help of the shampoo. So proper shampooing as well as proper grooming, apart from the oral and the topical antifungals that are advised by the vets, that can be done. One common mistake that most of the people do is whenever there's a skin infection, they prefer going for a close cut. They want to shave their dogs. They want every hair to be removed. Until unless it is advised by a vet, maybe in some cases it is advised by the vets because if the infection is too widespread that we can't do anything about it. Please don't go for a close shave of the dogs because it is the protection of the skin. So if we are removing that thing, we are spreading it to other places also, because the skin that is healthy and it is exposed to the external environment, obviously it will be infected also. So try not to go for these type of things. I think I could be of
Yeah.
help to her here.
This definitely helps. So, as we understand, unlike humans, dogs do tend to retain, I think, a lot of moisture in their skin and the
Yeah.
fur also. And maybe I think that is even more comfortable during the monsoon period. So, are there any ways, any specific changes that we need to add to their grooming needs so that they don't feel so uncomfortable that they do during this time?
Actually, what happens is they don't have any sweat glands, so
Yes.
they lose all the heat from either from the paws or through the tongue
Yeah.
only. They have
Right.
got sebaceous glands. These are oil glands that are present throughout the body. So this helps in maintaining the general skin immunity as well as the help in retaining the moisture. So our aim is to stimulate those glands. How can we stimulate it? We can massage them. Like if we
Okay.
massage a pet from the reverse direction, from tail to head, if we are using a brush, not a pinned one, the one that
Right.
is like a coat brush sort of a thing. So,
Sure.
or a massage glove in the reverse direction. So we are stimulating his skin. It is something like the facials that we do. We are trying to stimulate the
Yes.
thing. It is the same thing. We are trying to stimulate the oil glands that are present on the body. So a rigorous massaging in the reverse direction from tail to head for at least 10 to 15 minutes if we do regularly, so it will release that oil, that the glands will be stimulated and those oil will be released on the dog's body, and it will become soft,
Okay.
luxurious, and very naturally glowing. And another thing is that we should avoid using more of chemicals, because we have a tendency that we go for a frequent bathing. Brushing is
Yeah,
good,
that.
but if the more we bathe him, the more chemicals we are using on the body, so we are depleting those oils from the body. So brushing is good, but try avoiding
Okay.
shampoos or lots of fancy items on the body. Try to be as natural as possible. Yes, obviously hygiene is needed, so he needs a
Yeah,
grooming thing, but it should not be,
definitely.
we should not overdo it.
Okay. Okay. So monsoon, I think we should also try to reduce the bathing that we do. The frequency of bathing should be like how in the monsoon period?
I prefer at least 10 to 15 days of gap should be there,
Sure.
whatever the season is there. Only thing is, if he gets wet or there is some moisture on his body, so he needs to be dried up properly. Many a times he goes out and there's a slight drizzle and he is moist. We feel like we are comfortable in this weather. Let him be also enjoy the rains, but it is not there because there will be buildup of the infection on the body. So try to dry it off. But otherwise, 10 to 15 days is the ideal time for which we can take between the two baths.
Understood. Understood. The next question that we have here is from Jagrati Bhandari, and the question is: we recently adopted a 2 month old lab puppy, and he gets very scared due to frequent rain and thunder noises. How can we help him to get over this fear?
Jagriti is too small for us to experiment with him. But the first thing is we must provide him with a secured place where he feel quite comfortable. Maybe a corner of a room where he has all his toys. Maybe his cozy bed is there. So that, and you try to be with him once at the time of those thunderstorms, so that he feels comfortable. Then we can introduce him slowly and slowly with the maybe from within inside the room, like an open window or a closed window, so that he can see the trees moving and he can, but he could not hear properly. Once he's
Yeah.
comfortable with that, we can take him out in a balcony, in maybe cuddled in your arms, so that he's comfortable, he's not scared. But if he shows anxiety, don't overdo the things. Maybe expose him for 2 3 minutes and take him inside. So by slowly and slowly exposing him in this way, he will be comfortable and he'll also enjoy. But many a times some dogs don't overcome with the lightning thing.
Right.
They are
Right.
always nervous. In those cases, we can use earbuds, like we can use cotton plugs in the ear, so that the noise is minimized, and try to be with them so that they are more comfortable.
Right. Hope this helps, Jagriti. The next question that we have here is from Sangeeta Sajwan. And the question is: my 3 year old Spitz develops fungal infections very frequently in monsoons. Please advise.
uh, I think the precaution is always better. We have covered it many times, but still I'll repeat it. Try to keep his skin as dry as possible. Don't frequently bathe him, and brush him regularly. So even if there's a small spot on the skin, you'll be able to identify right in the beginning before it spreads to the other part of the body. And whenever he comes back from the walk, just dry him properly. In case the towel drying is, because Spitz has got long hair, towel drying is not sufficient, you can use a dryer as well. And since he develops this type of things very frequently, so some dietary changes as well as some nutritional changes is always advised. Go for a balanced diet so that he gets all the nutrition, or you can add a separate coat conditioner so that his skin is in a proper health and the immunity is fine, and he doesn't get any infections. But prevention, as I told, is always better. So try to identify the first signs and prevent it by the proper nutrition and diet.
Hope it helps, Sangeeta. The next problem that I think Swati is facing is her dog does not eat food in the rains. How can that be corrected?
Uh, it normally happens in the summers, but yes, by the rains, many a times dogs get anxious. They are a bit gloomy also, because the weather is not
Yeah.
very healthy. They are not going out for the proper walks, so the digestion and everything is also affected. So in that case, what we can do is we can add some fibrous food to his diet, or we can try to feed him at the time where the rain is not there. Maybe early morning, late nights, once the weather is a bit brighter as compared to once it is raining. Or we can alter the diet as per the pet's demand. If the dog is eating at least maybe 50% of the diet and he is active, we don't have to worry. But if his diet is reduced further down, So we need to add certain supplements or certain medicines to his diet. That can be done with the help of a veterinarian. So I think if it's a small reduction in the diet, don't worry. Do the changes that I have suggested. If it is more, then visit the vet nearby.
Okay. Okay, and we have a follow-up question from Dimpy Bose, and she's saying, I am mom of three Shih Tzus, and what to do to avoid fungal infection? As when one gets the fungal infection, the second one gets it too. So I think the problem is that it spreads from one to another. How
Yes,
can that be
definitely it spreads. Only thing is, don't let the first one have it. That's the only
done?
thing that you can do it.
Of course.
Try, yeah, try to prevent it, because we can't stop pets from playing close together. We can't stop them from cuddling each other, and even we could be the source. The towels could be the source. If we are using the same towel, that could be the source. If we are using the same brushes, that could be the source of infection. So if we are keeping the pet separately, try to use all the equipment separately. Don't mix the brushes, don't mix the towels, so that we can minimize the chances of spreading. But if one is having, obviously it's going to spread to the other. So try to stop the first signs of it. The moment you feel that one is having, then start using the antifungals or the preventive sprays even on the other pets. Even once they have started showing just a simple signs, start using those things on them also.
So the next question that we have is from Mehnaz Tabassum, and the question is, Hi doctor, is it safe for dogs to get wet in the rains? My retriever duo loves playing in the rain.
Yes, that's very difficult to stop them from going into the water and playing. They are just like kids. They even love going into the puddles, and they enjoy
True.
going there. But our aim should be to keep them dry. So even if you're letting them play in the moisture, no issues. But try to clean them as thoroughly as possible once they are back home. Obviously prevention is better, but if he wants to enjoy it, you can't stop them from enjoying. That's a fun part. So once he is back, try to dry him properly with a towel, with a hair dryer should be from a distance, like a 1 feet distance, so that he doesn't get too heated up. And try to check if there is any buildup of any sort of fungus or bacteria or any redness rashes coming on the body once he has gone out after 2 3 days. If he has experienced something, then immediately talk to a vet so that it doesn't spread and harms him. But obviously it's not good. Rainwater and moisture that get trapped between the hair, it is
Definitely.
not good. It's not good.
Hope this answered your question. The next question that we have is from Brijmohan Prasad, and he's asking, do dogs tend to eat less in the monsoon? What will be a good diet for a 5-year-old Cocker Spaniel?
Yes, obviously pets tend to reduce down on the diet, and the best option would be to add some fibrous diet. If he is on a dog food diet, then you can add accordingly. Like there are branded products which have got high fiber diets that can be added. If it's on a home cooked diet, then you can add maybe some fruits or boiled vegetables to his diet, so that he eats it. Many a time pets love fruits during this time. Once they are not happy eating the normal diet, they prefer eating fruit. So you can add the seasonal fruits, provided it's not very sweet, like the seasonal watermelons which has got lots of water in it. So that can be given. Cucumber could be added. So accordingly, the fiber rich fruits could be added. Maybe you talk to your vet what all foods can be added, but best options is add some fibers to his diet.
Okay. Hope this answers your question. I think before we take further questions from the audience, let me quickly announce the second trivia question that we have for our audience today. The second trivia question is, state true or false. A lot of monsoon related illnesses are because of parasites. The option 1 is true and the option 2 is false. I will repeat the question. State true or false. A lot of monsoon related illnesses are because of parasites. The option 1 is true and the option 2 is false. All of those who knows the answer, do write it in the comment section below. The next question that we have, doctor, is from Dimpy, and she's asking, one of my baby has stained teeth, doesn't allow me to brush his teeth or spray his teeth. I give him home cooked food and kibbles, no bones in diet. Any suggestions, as I don't want him to go under anesthesia for cleaning, as a friend had expired due to over anesthesia?
Yes, dental hygiene is very important, but it is grossly ignored in our country. Frankly
Right.
speaking, when I introduce someone or I tell someone that you need to regularly brush him, they are always shocked that dogs also need to be done these type of dental things. But yes, and the earlier we start, it's always better. So there are different
Right.
products in the market, ranging from toothbrushes, sorry, paste, to the dental sprays. Then there are foam sprays, there are gels. So what even there are certain water additives that you can add to his feeding bowl, and he'll drink it, and that spreads into the mouth, and it works for them. So starts on dental hygiene depending upon his habit, because many a time dogs don't allow you to brush him. So in that case, you can use a foam, or you can use a gel that can be just sprayed in the mouth, and then it could be massaged and left like that. The best part is they don't have to throw the paste out, or they don't have to throw out the foam and that is formed. They
Right.
can swallow it. Only thing is that you don't have to give them any diet for the next 15-20 minutes, so that the gel and the enzymes act within the mouth. So obviously
Okay.
you must start, because he has started showing the stains. This is the best time. The bones and all those things, this is not the solution. These are like just like a preventive thing. So it is not necessary that you add those things to his diet. But yes, dental hygiene you need to start. For that, you might talk to the vet. He will advise you some of the options that are available. Otherwise, in the pet shops, you can get all those things.
Thank you, doctor. The next question that we have is from Yash Mittal, and he's asking, my pogo is drinking less water than normal since the rains have started. Is it normal?
Normally, a pet drinks water depending upon the ambient environment. If the temperature is low, then he tends to drink less water. If the weather is quite warm, so he'll drink more water. So it all depend upon the ambient temperature, plus the diet that he is taking. If he is having sufficient water content in his diet, he won't need some extra thing. Normally, a pet dogs eat 50 to 70 ml of water per kg. So if it's a 10 kg
Okay.
dog, so he'll drink at least half a liter of water in the whole day. But that half a liter will come from different sources. Like
Right.
some of it will come in his diet also. If he's on a liquid diet or a semi-liquid or a home cooked diet, some water will be coming from that also. And some he might be drinking otherwise. Maybe he's having more of fruits these times, so the water is coming from the fruits also. So I
Right.
think normally dog, if he is reducing down on the water content, it has nothing to do with the this monsoons or the rains. It is dependent on the type of diet plus the ambient temperature. If he's living more in the AC environment, suppose it's very gloomy outside, it's very humid,
Right.
and he's always in the AC, so he'll require less of water, because the heat won't be going out. If we are sweating more, we need more water. If we are not sweating more, we don't need water. It's something like that also. He is not dissipating
Okay.
the heat, so he won't need it. So there's nothing to worry about. Normally, dogs don't leave water because of any particular thing.
Okay, that's a relief. So the next question that we have is from Dimpy here, and she's asking, Doctor, one of my Shih Tzu has a habit of licking her feet, and it gets red. She has tried putting socks, but after some time, when she removes the socks, she has no ticks or fleas as well. But how to dry her paws when she licks and turns it red to avoid this habit?
As Dimpi, as I told you, that they need to be kept as dry as possible. The
Right.
moment she's coming back from the walk, you need to dry them properly. Remove all the under pad hair. Just get it clipped as close as possible, so that the area is exposed, and you can clean it regularly with just a dry towel, so that no buildup is there. In case there is some sort of redness or stickiness there, you can use a normal antiseptic, maybe a betadine or Savlon, and clean it properly. The whole paw needs to be cleaned. Once she start licking, it is very difficult to stop it, because that's
Right.
the most easy way, and they are so itchy that they don't follow your instructions. So
Right.
try to give some medication so that the itchiness goes down and she doesn't lick that well. You can use e-collars, but I feel that to be a bit cruel, because we are not treating the thing, but we are unnecessarily stopping them from doing it. Yes, if you are using the socks, it's better you use them once you are taking her out for a walk, so that the chances
Okay.
of her getting the dust and getting the moisture is reduced down. Once she is back from the walk, you can remove it, dry it, and keep it clean. Again, use antiseptics if possible. If it is again building up, then she needs some medication that needs to be done. I think you need to consult a vet for that.
Hope that answers your question, Dimpy. Also, doctor, there is one very common question that I wanted to ask was, can deworming the dog before the onset of monsoon also benefit them during this time?
Definitely, definitely. What happens is, normally, as I told you, that the worms are always there in the surrounding. And
Right.
during this time, all the grass is overgrowing. There are lush gardens, and the pets run through the grass. From where do they get the worms? They get the worms from the mud. So if
Right.
they on the grass blades, the worms are moving. The eggs are laid on them, and the once the our dog runs through them, they sniff it, and they tend to get the things. Many times dogs have a habit of chewing on the grass also, so they can swallow the eggs. So once the overgrown grass and gardens are there, the probability of the pets getting the worms is very high. So it's always better, okay, before the onset of the monsoon we get them dewormed, because it will help in reducing down the worm load. Once the worm load is reduced, the general immunity of the pet is better. General immunity of the pet is better, so he'll be able to pass through this gloomy weather more comfortably. So the chances of him getting sick during this phase is also reduced to some extent.
Okay. Understood, doctor. Thank you. The next question that we have is from Dimpy again, and she wants to ask what to apply for small spot of fungal on the back. Please guide any home remedy. I noticed and I'm applying coconut oil on the skin.
For fungus, I don't think coconut oil is going to work. It will moisten the skin. It will keep it. The texture of the skin would be better, but I don't think it will help in that. If the fungus is already grown, we need to use some antifungals only. A neutral sort of a thing that is not having any steroid or any antibiotic is chlorhexidine sprays are available in the market. 4% of it can be purchased, and that can be applied. It is a simple antiseptic. It removes all the fungal buildup. So it is one of the safest thing. And if in case you are not having that, you can always have a betadine that you can clean, so that the general hygiene is taken care of. But if a fungus is already grown, you need to go for an antifungal only. Don't waste time, because fungus spreads like anything, and it is really difficult to get it removed completely from the body.
Okay. Hope that answers your question, Dimpy. We have a follow-up question from Nilufer Yasmin, and she's asking how many times in a year should we deworm Taco, the dog?
Okay. Normally, we prefer every 3 months, 3 to 4 months, depending upon his habits. Like if he's a more of an outdoor person, I prefer doing it every 3 months. And if it is more of an indoor thing, he doesn't grow in the gardens and all, then maybe 4 months. So on an average, 4 times a year is a must for them. Every 3 to 4 months.
Okay. The next question that we have is from Deep Sarkar, and the question is Bozo, my 4-year-old Dalmatian, has become very lazy and inactive from the onset of friends. What can I do?
Start playing with him more and more, because he might not be going out, so he might not be very enthusiastic. So try to spend more time with him. Try to invent some indoor games for him. Maybe fetch, or you can hide certain things, and maybe his treat you can hide at different places, and prompt him to search for it. Or you can play tug of war with him. So try to spend more time and try to make him more active within the house, so that he's there. But if in case you feel that he's losing his appetite also, and he's lethargic also, so might be something going on in his body. And we should not wait for the symptoms to erupt. Visit a vet in case you are feeling that he has become out of the way, he's lethargic. So don't waste much of a time. Just give 1 or 2 days, and try to inculcate certain things into him. If he is not responding to it, then visit a vet for it.
I hope that answers your question, Deep. One more thing that doctor that we also wanted to check was we understood that dogs do have tend to get the psychological impact of this dull weather. They do get phobias and depression and anxiety. But
Mhm.
how, like, what is the next step that we can do for this for our dogs? How do we minimize these psychological impacts on our dogs, and how can we help them with their phobias and depression if they get it?
uh, frankly speaking, there are two types of phobias. One is because of the lightning and because of the sound. They are
Right.
nervous. They the moment it starts raining, they try to hide themselves, and because of the heavy air or
Yeah.
the winds that are blowing, they are nervous. So one is this. Another is things since they are totally indoors, they are not able to go outside, and there is some change in the barometric pressure, and they are feeling it. Because of which they tend to be a sort of a depression and
Right.
low general in general they are very low. So these are two type of things. The first thing, because of the fear of the lightning and all that, you can take care of by maybe keeping them indoors, keeping them in a secure place, putting some cotton buds into their ears so that they doesn't hear the things, maybe closing the doors and so that the wind and all those things can't be felt, spending more time with them, be with them when once the sounds are there. So these is one thing. The other thing is like the psychological depression and the anxiety that can be taken care of by spending more time with them. Make them
Right.
feel that you are around, and in case they are nervous, try to cheer them up with the help of some small games. Maybe try to give them some treats on, or try to play with them so that they are in general they are a bit elated. And in case he is not responding to even those things, then there are certain medicines that can be used, but that can be done only with the help of the veterinarians. So all those things could be taken care of.
Noted, noted, doctor. Thank you so much for explaining it so well. The next question that we have is it necessary to change the diet of a dog during monsoon or any other seasons?
Frankly speaking, some small tweaking here and there is needed in every season. Am I audible?
I think the screen has paused. Just a minute. It is better now, doctor.
It is
Yeah.
better, fine. So in every season there is some changes are there. So we need to go for certain changes. Like in summers, we need to add some more of a liquid diet, more of cold things like more of curd or more of maybe water containing fruits. In the winters, again, we need to give more of protein so that the heat and the body is taken care of, heat of the body and the general, because they need more energy to protect them from the heat. So that way in every season we need to add certain things. And because in the monsoon they are reducing down on their diet, so we need to give more concentrated diets or maybe more fibrous rich diets, so the immunity and the general things are maintained. So here and there some things needs to be added or depleted in all the seasons. If you start giving cold things in the winters, obviously it's going to create some problem. So obviously every season they need certain changes in the diets.
Understood. Understood. Before we take further questions from the audience, I would like to announce the final question that we have for them, the final trivia question, the trivia question number three. So the question is, guys, fill in the blanks. Dash is important to prevent fungal and bacterial infections in pets. Your option one is exercising, and your option two is poor hygiene. I will repeat the question. Fill in the blanks. Dash is important to prevent fungal and bacterial infections in pets. The option one is exercising, and the option two is poor hygiene. We cannot reveal the answer, Dr. So we'll just quickly move on to the next questions that
Yeah.
we have here. The next question is from Nimit Jain, and the question is: do dogs shed more in monsoons?
Yeah, I had covered that, but
Yeah,
yes, definitely they shed more, and we need to take care of their coat hygiene more. So start brushing them and touching them and feeling the fur so that you can find out if there is any build-up fungus or bacteria is there. And more of a brushing is required because there is lots of shedding, so all the dead hair needs to be removed from the body. Don't be
right,
afraid that once we are brushing there are loads of hair coming out, so we stop brushing them. Don't do it, because
right.
they are dead hair and they need to be removed. So obviously you need to brush them more once they are shedding.
So one more thing that we also wanted to check with you, doctor. A lot of the pet parents also tend to take care of the strays around their surroundings. So
Hmm.
any tips that you can share with us on protecting the strays during these rainy seasons?
Yes, this is very important because many of the pet parents are doing these things for the strays, and it's a very good thing. So
Absolutely.
the most important thing is that try to build some shelters for them, because they are in the open, they'll have lots of moisture and humidity. So in
Right.
case we can use some shades, some plastic sheets or something, so that they can have a small areas where they
Right.
can sit while it is raining, and try to provide food and water to them, because normally during this time they are not able to go out and fetch food
Right.
for them. So try to provide more fresh water and food to them. Apart from that, if it is possible, because ticks and flea season is there, so
Right.
I, if it is possible, maybe you
Right.
can use some sort of tick drops or tick powder, so that these type of infections doesn't erupt on them and they are protected. Since moisture, skin, and all those things are involved, there are chances of open wounds, and with the open wounds there are every chances of maggoted wounds, because the flies will sit on them
Right.
and the maggots develop. So try to keep some antiseptics or maggoticidal at home, so the moment you see some pet, maybe you can spray or put some medicines on it, so that a basic hygiene could be maintained. Obviously, we can't do much on the streets, but
Right.
at least a
Right.
basic spray, so that
We
it
can do
doesn't
our bit.
it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. So it could
Right.
be taken care of right there. So these are some small things that you can do, I think.
Right. So, like we spoke about the prevention and the tips that we can do to protect the strays in the rainy season. A follow-up
Mm.
question on the same is that what are the next steps when should a dog step outside and when they get wet in the rain? So, what do we do when they get wet, and how do we take care of that part of the problem?
You are talking about our pets or the stray ones?
Uh, both actually, matlab,
Pets in general,
basically
both.
the next steps. Yeah, the next steps. If
Yeah.
they do get wet, how can we, ensure that there are no infections that are developing, or they are not scared anymore. They do get scared also
Right,
when such a thing
right.
happens. So the next
So
steps,
frankly
basically.
speaking, yeah, frankly speaking, once they get wet, our aim should be to get their body, the skin, as dry and moisture free as possible. That could be
Right.
best done by drying them with a dry towel, or maybe you can use the dryers, but it has to be from a particular distance. It should not be very close drying, because it might damage the skin. And if possible, you can use a dryer with a cold air only instead of
Okay.
the hot air, so that it is completely gone. Still
Right.
some moisture might be there, so there are certain antiseptic powders that are available that you can dust in, but after dusting, that needs to be brushed off, so that
Right.
it doesn't stick to the surface, because if it stick to the surface of the body, it's again going to lead to the buildup of the spots, and the dog will start itching, and once he start itching, the other infections will be there. And second thing is, as we talked, that prevention is always better. So before the onset of the season, make sure that he is tick protected, because
Right.
ticks is a very big menace. Apart from the local
Mhm.
irritation, it also spreads many horrible diseases.
Right.
And monsoon, the ticks is at the maximum level. So prevent him before the onset of the monsoon. So don't wait for him to get the ticks and then you will go for the prevention. Best is that start before the monsoon is
Right.
there. So dry them, keep them totally free from ticks. I think 50% or more than
I
50% of your
think
problem will
yes.
be solved. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for explaining it so well, doctor. The next question that we have is from Tripti, and she's asking, for wiping a dog's paws, can we use normal water or sanitizer is to be used along?
Frankly speaking, I don't recommend wiping, because water will
Okay.
again lead to the moisture buildup. So I prefer cleaning it with either a dry towel, just rub it thoroughly, so that anything that has stuck to his paws, that can be cleaned. In case you are afraid of the hygienic thing, like these days because of the COVID and all, and the pets come on the bed, so you can use a normal antiseptic, maybe Savlon or Betadine. Just moisten the towel and rub it with that, or even you can use an antiseptic, provided it is not causing the dryness to the paws.
Okay.
There are certain antiseptics available, like sanitizers available, that are aloe vera based, that sort of
Right.
products, or gel based. Instead of going for the like totally alcoholic thing, you can use those gel based things. Use it on take it on a like a disposable towel or a tissue, and softly clean it with that. But the paws should be wiped off completely. It should be totally dried up. Till the time the sanitizer is not dry, don't let your pet lick his paws. Otherwise, it might lead to some sort of chemicals going into his
Right.
body. So which is not good for him.
Understood. Understood. The next question that we have here is from Neelam Prasad, and the question is: if we are using a hair dryer for a dog, then can we use the same one that we use for us humans, or a different one is recommendable?
No, no, no. We can use the same. The basic aim is to remove the moisture.
Dry the,
So
yeah,
only thing is the distance. If we are using very closely for us, we can't use that closely for our
same.
pets. Just
Right.
keep a distance of about 1 foot, as I have been repeating it again and again,
Right.
and try to use a cold air instead of a hot air. Try to use the cold air thing, because most of the dryers are having both the options of heated and cold
Right.
air. So if you don't have the option of cold air, then you can use it on the lowest of heat, so that the heating of the body is minimal. Rest you can
Right.
use the same dryers.
Understood. Hope that answers your question, Neenam. Before we move on and start taking further questions from the audience, I would request Dr. Aradhana to share the answer for the Purina Pro Plans contest that was posted on 27 June. So, the question that was posted was to fill in the blank. DASH is an important care regime for reducing parasites and improving your pet's health. Ma'am, can you please let the audience know the correct answer for that?
Okay, okay. The correct answer is deworming, and I think I've been covering it
Right.
throughout the session, but still I'd like to shed some light on it, because worms is something that is consuming most of the things that we are eating. Suppose we are
Right.
having any nutrition, then the part of it is going to the worms. So that
Worms.
way they are reducing down on our general immunity. They are taking away some of the nutrition from us. So it's always better to get a pet dewormed, so that the nutritional depletion is not there. The general
Right.
health of the puppy is good. So it's this way the general health and the general condition of the pet is maintained. So a proper deworming is the final answer for this.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for sharing the answer. We'll move on to the audience questions. The next question has been asked by Mamta Bhatnagar, and the question is warm water advisable to be given to dogs?
It should not be warm. It should be like a room temperature thing in whatever season it is. Let it be summers,
Okay.
let it be winters. Don't go for a warm water, because if the pet is not used to it, so he might there is chances of him getting burnt or something. A room temperature thing is comfortable until unless he has got a sore throat or he has been advised by a vet for a lukewarm thing. Then only go for a lukewarm thing. Otherwise, a room temperature
Right.
thing is always sufficient for him.
Okay. Hope that answers the question, Mamta. The next question that we have here is from Ananya Handa, and the question is: the house also gets very damp during rainy season. Does this affect our dogs too? My sister has asthma and it irritates her nose. I want to get a Shih Tzu and want to understand if this will be a problem for the dog.
Uh, if your dog is allergic to certain things, like if he has some sort of respiratory diseases, they might get aggravated because of the damp weather and the moisture in the atmosphere. Otherwise, 90% of the dogs are not affected by these type of things. Yes, certain respiratory infections are on the rise during this type of season, because
Right.
the weather is a bit gloomy, moisture is there, so there are probability of the pets getting the infection many a times because of the change in weather. Like it's very hot outside, he's a bit wet, he comes in and he goes and sleeps into the AC. So change in weather and all those things. So
Right.
respiratory things are on a rise, but as such asthma related to this type of thing is very rare. Many a times dogs have got asthmatic problems and they get aggravated during these type of weathers. That is common, but it's very
Un-
difficult to say whether it happens because of this.
Understood. Understood. The next question that we have is from Anuranan Kumar Kazi, and the question is: what dietary changes would you recommend in monsoon for a 1 year old Shih Tzu?
I've been covering
I
that
think,
anyway.
yeah, and I think I can also answer this now.
Yeah,
Adding
yeah,
more fibers to the diet,
yes,
adding more fibers to the diet will do wonders for them during the monsoon season. Am
yes,
I
that's
right?
wonderful. Yes, definitely, you are right. That is
Okay.
the basic aim, to add more fiber to his diet, and maybe give him smaller portions instead of him taking one big meal. He would prefer small 2 3 diets. So you can add fruits or fibers or some dog foods with fiber to his diet. That's the best part.
Okay. Okay, understood. I think before moving further, I would quickly like to announce the winner for our trivia contest. And well, thank you everyone who have participated in the contest. But congratulations to Neelam Prasad, and you have won a gift hamper from PetFit from Purina Pro Plan. And do share your details or DM them directly to Purina Pro Plan's Facebook page. Thank you so much. Ma'am, a follow question on the respiratory disorders that we were currently talking about. Can you let us know what respiratory disorders are, generally there or should be taken care of for dogs? Like for asthma, you said that it could be a problem in the monsoon season. So, any other
Mhm.
respiratory disorders that the dogs may be having, any special care that is required for them during that time?
Uh, one very common thing that comes during this weather is in case of small breeds like Shih Tzus, Poms, toy Poms. What happens is that their nose get very dried up, so they are
Right.
always trying to blow it. Like they try to not instead of sneezing, reverse of it. It's called as reverse sneezing. They try to suck in lots of air through the
Okay.
nose, and during the process they make lots of noises. So
Right.
almost daily I receive one or two parents who are always asking, "Okay, madam, my baby is having some nasal problem. He's not able
Right.
to breathe." It is basically reverse breathing, and it is very common during these type of season, like summers as well as the
Okay.
monsoons, because it's lot of dryness is there. So because of which the nose become the nasal passage become dry, and it is irritated. So reverse breathing is very common, which looks like as if he's choking, he's not been able to breathe, and he's actually trying to clear the passage. It's something like the way we blow our nose. So it's one common thing. Then asthma,
Right.
obviously, since moisture is there, so there is lot of chances of it. Heavy exercising dogs, if they come back and they are not able to breathe because of the lot of moisture is there, so many a times it happens they are not able to breathe properly. So this type of things can also happen. So we try to avoid warmer weathers, like when it is very sunny or when it is very humid. Don't go
Right.
for a heavy or a long exercise, so that he is comfortable. It generally
Un-
happens in the big breed dogs, not in the small breed dogs. So these are two three things, and obviously cold exposure, that is very
right.
common because it's very hot. We come from the walks, and since it is very humid and gloomy, so we want to go directly to the AC, and change in weather leads to the cold exposures. So these are some things that happen.
Understood. We have, I think, one more last remaining question for today. That is
Okay.
from Dimpy Bose, and she's asking, "Do dogs dream? My dogs make funny noises while sleeping, and one of them cycles his feet sometimes in sleep."
Yes, dogs also dream a lot, and they make all sorts of funny things. They might be even sometimes they are like running after something, so they'll be moving
Right.
their feet, and they might be at times trying to say something as if howling or something. So they make all sorts of funny voices. So this is pretty normal, and it is a
Right.
very common thing that happens. I think every pet owner might have experienced these type of things once they have kept a pet.
Yeah,
It's
I did
very common.
too.
Yeah, that's very common.
Right. So I think that answers your question, Dimpy. And looks like our time is almost up, and we will have to end the live session now. It had been really interesting, and the answers were very well explained. We got a few comments also that I can read, where the audience has also spoken that the explanation was really in detail and very well explained. So thank you so much, Dr. Aradhna, for
Thank you.
joining us today and helping us understand everything that we need to do about taking care of our doggos during this time of
You
the
are
year.
most welcome. You are most
Thank you
welcome.
so
And even I enjoy doing all those type of things. I enjoy talking to people,
much. Thank you so much.
especially the pet parents. They are always
Right.
fun.
Right, right, agreed. And thank you so much, the pet parents also, who joined us today and who participated in the session and got all their questions answered. I hope we were able to help you in some way today in taking better care of your dogs during this time. And to the ones who missed it, I think don't worry, these live sessions are going to be a regular affair, and we will be covering different topics in the coming weeks or so. So meanwhile, you can watch this entire video on Purina's Facebook page, that is Purina Pro Plan India, to catch up on all the questions that you missed about taking care of your dogs during the rainy season. Thank you so much, Doctor, once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.